Hello grade 4, welcome to your first lesson for inquiry, term 4, week 2. Our learning intentions today is to be able to discuss the diversity of Australia's First Peoples, to be able to discuss the longevity of Australia's First Peoples, to be able to sequence information about Aboriginal people's lives and events. Our success criteria: I can identify Australia's First Peoples. So last week we looked closely at how Aboriginal peoples lived before European settlement using paintings from the convict Joseph Lycett. So as a warm-up today, what I would like you to do is pause this video and think of 2 ways Aboriginal peoples lived before European settlement that is different from how we live today. And for example, they used to hunt for food. We certainly don't do that in Australia now. We buy our food. So I need 2 examples of how Aboriginal peoples lived before European settlement that is different from how we live today. I'll give you a couple of seconds. Okay, if you answered they hunted for their food, or they were nomadic and moved around to preserve country, or they passed creation stories down through thousands of years to explain how the land, sea, sky, and animals were created, you would be correct. There's many, many more that you could have come up with as well. What I would like you to do now is take the time to watch these 3 short videos about 2 brothers and their father, and how their father is teaching them skills to live in the bush. The first one refers to snake bites and making a spear. The second one refers to fishing and the fishing techniques that they used before European settlement. And the third one is about carrying water. Unfortunately, I can't play these on this recording because there's a copyright issue with ABC. So you'll have to pause the video, click on the links in the lesson plan, watch the 3 videos. They only go for about 2.5 minutes each, and then continue watching this PowerPoint. So your first task today is to think about the last video you watched called Carrying Water. Which brother do you think had the better method for transporting the water? Is it the older brother here who had the smaller, it looks like a branch that's carrying a small amount of water? Or is it this brother here who managed to make a bigger container and transport it by floating down the creek or the river? Okay. So your second activity for today is to read this article called An Ancient People. Now, it's quite a long article, so I've recorded myself reading it, so you can actually listen to this vocabulary and read along with me as I read the article called An Ancient People. So you'll find that article at the bottom of this lesson plan. If it's a little bit unclear, you can always click on this link so that you can see a nice clear copy of this article. So after you finish reading this article, there are some comprehension questions that you need to answer. You can do it in your books, or you can do it using this teacher-made link here. I've taken part of the article and placed it here, and I've come up with some comprehension questions that you will be able to answer from reading that small part there. Also, there's another part of the article that I've put here and a question that you need to answer. As I said, you can print this out, you can write the comprehension questions in your book, or you can use the teacher-made app to answer the questions. I hope you enjoy this activity.